Hello, hope you're well. So we continue our journey towards Rosh Hashanah in learning some practical wisdom from the ancient Talmudic sages. So there's an interesting instruction in the Talmud that says as follows: Hizaharu b'zaken, take care to respect an elder who forgot his learning. Meaning you usually respect this individual and all of a sudden they've forgotten or they've made a mistake. Says the Talmud, your respect for them should not be withdrawn. Respect them anyway, even though they made a mistake. And the Talmud continues, for we have learned that both the luchos and the broken luchos were placed in the Aron. The Talmud reminds us that in the Holy of Holies, in the original Aron HaKodesh, there were two sets of tablets, the broken set and the perfect, complete set, each one laying side by side with each other. We don't lose respect for somebody else because they made a mistake, because they fell. And we definitely don't lose respect for ourselves when we fall, when we make a mistake. It's a really important lesson from the Talmud, appropriate for this time of the year when we encourage ourselves and each other to be more aware of our failures or the areas in which we need to improve. And it's easy to really get down, to feel down and to feel worthless or that we are worth less because of our failures, because of the mistakes that we made. Says the Talmud, no. Always remember that the broken tablets and the complete tablets were stored, lay side by side in the Holy of Holies. I recall hearing a very interesting parable that a fellow who had just finished building this big mansion, and he climbed up to the roof. He wanted to admire his new pad. And he was so deep in thought and he was so over-involved in what's going on, he slipped and he fell off the roof. For another time, there's a mitzvah to build a fence around a flat roof. But he didn't have this fence. He slipped and he fell off. And when he regained conscious, he found himself in a hospital bed. And he became distraught. And he said, "Oi, my whole entire mansion, my whole house has collapsed. What am I going to do?" And his friends were visiting him, and they comforted him by telling him, no, your mansion still stands intact. Whatever you built is still there. You fell from it. But as soon as you regain your strength, you'll go back to it, and it will be intact. You will go back to what you built. It's the same thing in life. We work so hard on building life. We work hard at life, building relationships, building connections, building every part of ourselves, our regular life, our day-to-day life, our spiritual life. And then unfortunately, sometimes we fall. And we could be mistaken by thinking, "Oi, we've fallen and the whole thing has collapsed. We have to rebuild from the beginning." And the Talmud is reminding us that no, once we regain our strength, and we get back up and we dust ourselves off, we go back to the person who we were, perhaps even stronger because of that mistake, because of that failure. And I'll leave you with a thought from Dr. David Burns in his book, Feeling Good. And he emphasizes the difference between feelings of regret and remorse as opposed to bashing oneself up with guilt. Remorse, regret is healthy, and being harsh on ourselves with guilt is not healthy at all. And he says as follows: to put it in a nutshell, remorse or regret are aimed at behavior. Guilt is targeted towards self. If in addition to your guilt you feel depression, shame, or anxiety, you're probably making one of the following assumptions. 1, because of my bad behavior, I am inferior or worthless, and interpretations such as those lead to depression. 2, if others found out what I did, they would look down on me. Thinking like that leads to shame. And 3, I'm in danger of retaliation or punishment, provoking anxiety. So let us remember what the Talmud is teaching us. We don't lose respect for somebody else or ourselves when we make a mistake. Those smashed, incomplete, broken pieces of the tablets that Moses came down and threw on the floor when he saw the failures of the Jewish people lie together with the complete set. Even after we fall, even after we make mistakes, and we all do, we remain respectable, we remain elevated, and we remain worth it. So our improvement in Elul is not about putting ourselves down and tremendous feelings of guilt. It's about building ourselves up. Feeling regret, feeling remorseful, that's healthy in order that we can take the next step forward. Take care. See you soon.